Hello everyone, I am Julian Morris with the Channel 5 News. In the headlines, over $500,000 AC being invested to develop Dominica's Disaster Resource Center. The harmonized OECS draft children's bill expected to be in focus when stakeholders in child protection begin a 3-day workshop on Wednesday. And back to the drawing board for the Venezuela-funded coffee plant at 1 Mile. The details of the news coming up.
Imagine you have Hollywood at your command. Introducing Flow Evil.
Red cheese, gold rings, all black, everything creeping through the night.
Anywhere you are.
Big girls don't scream hard like Halloween, make me feel alive.
There's a world of entertainment here, and you run the show. Flow Evil.
Here are some tips to reduce mosquito presence in and around your home. Keep water storage containers properly covered. Remove containers that can collect water from your surroundings. Keep garbage bins tightly covered. Pick up your litter and remove all tires from your yard. Keep gutters free of leaves and twigs to prevent stagnant water. Prevent Zika, dengue, and chikungunya. Fight the bite. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
This message is supported by Flow. First up in the news, £160,000 being pumped into the renovation and development of Dominica's Disaster Resource Center. Andrea Louis has our report.
The Disaster Resource Center, or DRC, was the brainchild of Dominica-born Baroness Patricia Scotland, Secretary General of the Commonwealth, who was on island for the launching of the project on 1st April 2016, 3 years ago. The DRC was conceptualized following the passage of Tropical Storm Erica in 2015 as a means of raising awareness on the impact of natural disasters on Dominica. The old library building, or Victoria Memorial Building, was selected to house the Disaster Resource Center. The center is expected to serve as a hub for disaster awareness, reconstruction, resettlement, social services, and private sector information and updates for visiting missions, consultants, experts, volunteers, and NGOs. Work on the DRC appeared to have been at a standstill and was further delayed by Hurricane Maria in 2017. Project officer with the Office of Disaster Management, Donaldson Frederick, says work on the project is now in full swing.
At present, it is under construction, reconstruction. The roof is up, and one of the things that, or one of the three components that we want to get out of this rehabilitation process of the building is we want to ensure that the structure itself remain the same, because the library opened in 1902, and it signifies a historical moment for Dominica during those times. So it is of historical significance. And so we would want the physical structure to remain the same with the design, some of the drawings on there. So we want all that to remain, as well as the structure or the framework.
The rehabilitation of the Victoria Memorial Building is just one segment of a 3-part project following the scoping mission in 2016 to boost awareness on disaster resilience in Dominica. The second component includes an expo inside the building, which visitors to the center can experience.
We want to set up now the inside in a modernized way. And when I say modernized, I'm talking about the technology that we are faced with in today's society. A lot of the things that we have now is touch screen. So you and your children or family can come there and just press a button or touch the screen, and it pops up with an event in the past, or an individual maybe talking about their experiences in one of the disaster events that affected Dominica. And free, we wanted to put in there stories of resilience, really.
The third part of the project is the purchasing of a magic bus.
So the magic bus is a bus that, again, will be set up with some form of technology, where you have books, maybe computers, flat screens in there, and it will go around in communities to sort of assist with the a preparedness outreach, informing persons of what to do before, during, and after a hazard, has impacted the country and how to prepare. So these are some of the things that the Magic Bus basically will bring to the community, because not only in Roseau, I mean, you have students all around in the country, on the countryside, who would also benefit from that.
The rehabilitation of the Victoria Memorial Building is being funded by Six Capital, a private equity investment firm based in the United Kingdom.
Child protection practitioners will over the next 3 days sharpen their skills and knowledge in the area of child protection. This comes as a training in child protection for stakeholders working with children gets underway on Wednesday. The training in child protection will, among other areas, assist participants to understand the linkages between child protection and juvenile justice. It will also help participants identify systemic successes and challenges, discuss practice and procedures, and the critical role of the law in the care and protection of children. Particular attention will be given to the harmonized OECS draft Children's Care and Adoption Bill now being processed for enactment. The training will be facilitated by Attorney at Law and Advocate for Child Care and Protection, Jacqueline Seeley-Burke. Government officials will address the opening ceremony at the Goodwill Parish Hall from 8:30 a.m. A re-evaluation of interventions needed to restore the Venezuela-funded coffee plant at 1 Mile in Portsmouth. This after the facility was damaged by Hurricane Maria a year and a half ago. The plant is the result of a memorandum of understanding signed in 2010 between Prime Minister Skerrit and the late Hugo Chavez, former president of Venezuela. Construction of the plant began in July 2013 and was completed in July 2014. With the aim of processing 2,000 tons of coffee beans a year. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Reginald Thomas, says the majority of the structural damage was caused by the river.
That destroyed most of the electrical systems, damaged the fencing, the doors. What we have gone in and we have done is to secure the facility, reevaluate our intervention. So we have bought the transformer. We have placed that in. We had underground electrical systems. We recognize that that is not resilient in that particular area. So we're now going to do them overhead. So we have gotten estimates for this kind of intervention. So we're going to put back the system in place and then to re-establish the whole program. We will begin with fencing to secure it from unwanted guests, because we've noticed some people vandalize some of the remaining infrastructure.
As regards the cocoa drying facility in the northeast, Thomas says it was also severely impacted by Hurricane Maria, and if all goes according to plan, work on this facility should be finished by June this year.
We had significant challenges with restarting the works there. One of it was because number one, the contractor could not get workers. Then we had issues with his insurance to cover the works that were damaged during the passage of Maria. But we have now restarted. We have paid whatever has been owed to him so he can recommence work. So we expect work to be starting in the shortest possible time, because we aim to complete that facility before June.
And the Roosevelt-Skerrit administration has been praised for its investment in rescuing and resettling the people of Petite-Savanne displaced by Tropical Storm Erika. The recipients' gratitude was evident during a recent handing over of an additional 52 residences at Bellevue-Chopin. 38 had already been handed over in December last year.
We all can see the efforts and the tremendous work that this government and the Honorable Prime Minister has done for the people of Petite-Savanne. By that I mean that there were those who out there who were just relaxed and not being concerned. But there you are. This government, the Labour Party administration, and the Honourable Prime Minister has played a tremendous role in the recovery efforts in trying to secure the Peninsula community. Mr. Prime Minister, sir, what you have done for us, the people of Peninsula, far exceeds our expectation, and words are inadequate for expressing our thanks and appreciation.
Glennon Hilaire believes gratitude is important, particularly when one considers the magnitude of the loss the people of Petit Savan suffered and how far they've come.
On the morning of Erica, I woke up to screaming and shouting, as if it were from a movie. I only heard screaming in a movie like Titanic, but unfortunately it was our people screaming for help, our people being washed away. So that is why I would like to thank the government for one of its programs, the river dredging program firstly, which will help save the lives of many other communities to prevent what happened to us in the family. On the morning of Erica, it was very hectic. It was a hectic day for me, because it's like waking up and to news that people were dying, to say. And for a short moment, there was a form of togetherness, where people could come together because everybody was suffering the same way. And I can remember that day standing at the chapel ground with Rotis and Galba people together, because Montopi and Daru was segregated from us by the rivers and the ravines. And I can remember the people saying, who is going to help us? Are there anybody out there listening to us? And it is kind of sad that the same people today are the ones who are not grateful for what the government have done for us. I would like to personally thank Dr. Kenneth Darrow, the Honorable Dr. Kenneth Darrow, because he was one of the first people who came to our rescue, in the first sign of hope, Dr. Darrow. Not only did he come as a minister, but he presented himself as a family member, a villager, a counselor, and most of all, what I love him for, a medical practitioner. And I can remember the days following up, Dr. Darrow refusing to leave us behind, saying no. He is sticking in his people, and up to today I hold this very close to my heart. That is a man that we should cherish.
Residents have also recognized the role that the Prime Minister played in taking personal interest in their welfare following Erica and visiting the community following the tragedy.
And I can remember that morning when he came and he wanted to walk through the village. We told him it is not possible, but being the man that he is, he wasn't willing to give up. And I remember walking over slides and bushes and so on with the Prime Minister, and I'm like saying, this man is from the country. And I could see the energy in him, but you could tell from his face the pain that he was feeling, the heartache for his people. And that day was a day, for the first time in my life, I saw the Prime Minister actually broke down in my presence. And I strongly believe that is a man that cares for his people, and the world should know it.
You are watching Channel 5 News. We'll have more after this.
If you're HIV positive or have an STI, having unprotected sex with multiple partners puts them in grave danger. You'll expose every partner and their present and future partners to HIV or another STI. Use a condom every time you have sex. You can live a productive life even if diagnosed with HIV. Remember, early detection is key to your survival. Be responsible, protect yourself and others. Help stop the spread of HIV and other STIs.
Preparations are moving into high gear for the staging of the first ever Community Tourism Enhancement Competition. Let's go back now to Andrea Louis for more.
The competition, an initiative of the Dominica Community Tourism Association Inc. (DCTAI), was originally scheduled to start the penultimate weekend in March. However, manager of the DCTAI, Lester Rivera, says the competition has been delayed so that teething issues can be sorted out to ensure an impressive end result. Rivera says communities involved are excited to participate in this project.
Well, the response is encouraging. in most cases, I mean, there's two questions. I mean, it's the first time they're doing it, the first time they're involved in something like this, you know, so they keep, you know, coming back with questions, clarifying, making sure, you know, and when you think that they know everything, they come back and say, okay, is this clear? I mean, is this the way it should be done, etc. But I mean, there's quite a bit of enthusiasm. There's a monetary prize to be won. The monetary prize is to be won, so I think that's a source of motivation for the various zones. I mean, so at present they're working together. They have formed steering committees, you know, to manage the whole events and the activities involved in this competition. So we expect some good results, I mean, coming out of it at the end.
The competition will take place among 5 zones in the north and northeast of the country and will be judged on the 4 pillars of cleanliness, landscaping, hospitality, and community involvement. Brevia is appealing to the corporate community to show more support towards this venture.
We have gotten some good support from a few business houses, some of them. I mean, but we're still working to finalize, you know, the type of support that we will get, because that will help to make it more attractive, more appealing to the zones involved. So we really want to encourage the corporate community, the business houses to come through and to really contribute to really making a difference, because it's not just a competition, it's something that can transform. I see it as something that can transform Dominica, can transform the mindsets of residents in communities, transform the way we go about engaging in tourism activities, and contribute to having a greater impact.
The Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association has come on board with this project, which Revere sees as, among other things, increasing visitor arrivals to Dominica.
In terms of tourism for this country, improving the tourism product, improving the visitor experience, and having return visitors for this country, which we really need. So, and having people really adopt this country, you know, build deeper forms of relationships with the visitor, and greater bonds, and have people see Dominica as a second home and want to keep coming. And you know, and this would really make a difference for, you know, well, make a difference for the marketability of the country, the economic contribution that tourism can make to the grassroots person. I mean, because especially in the communities, we want to see the tourism dollar benefiting almost every household in the country as much as possible.
The new dates for the competition are Saturday 20th April for Zone B, which is Marigot and Woodford Hill, Monday 22nd April for Zone A, comprising Castle Bruce, the Kainago Territory, and Atkinson, Sunday 28th April for Zone D, consisting of Penville, Vieques, and Tebow, Monday 6th May, Zone E, consisting of Capuchin, Tukari, and Tatan, and Sunday 12th May for Zone C, comprising Benz, Anzdeme, and Solda, and Kalibishi. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
Antigua and Barbuda's Prime Minister Gaston Brown has welcomed the news that LIAT staff have agreed to a less than 10% salary cut. The Prime Minister called the announcement welcomed news. Over the weekend, the union representing LIAT's pilots, the Leeward Islands Airline Pilots Association, agreed to work for a reduced salary, and this was communicated to the shareholders. Prior to that announcement, the Barbados Today reported that the regional airline could collapse if the trade unions did not come to an agreement with LIAT management on a pay cut before March 31st. Brown said the failure of the airline was something that Antigua and Barbuda could not afford. He added that Barbados Prime Minister Mia Mottley and St. Vincent and Grenadines Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves decided if their staff did not agree to carry some of the burden, they would collapse the airline. He said the reality is that they have more than 60% of the share of LIAT combined. This places Antigua and Barbuda in an invidious position, as according to him, we cannot block any such collapse. He says LIAT is so important to Antigua and Barbuda, and a collapse of LIAT would be too disruptive to their economy. The restructuring proposal for LIAT includes a minimum revenue guarantee MRG, whereby unprofitable flight routes would be cut unless governments of those destinations were prepared to subsidize any shortfalls. And St. Vincent and the Grenadines Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves says he would not have attended had he been invited to a meeting with the President Donald Trump in late March. 4 CARICOM leaders met with Donald Trump in Florida at a meeting where Venezuela was also discussed. Prime Minister Gonzalez said some of his colleagues criticized the meeting, which was attended by Haiti, Bahamas, Jamaica and St. Lucia. The Dominican Republic also attended. Asked whether he was upset that he was not invited to Trump's meeting, Gonzalez said there are politicians in the United States running away from President Trump. I must run to him? Come on. Gonzalez admits Trump leads the most important country in the world, but he said you don't just run to people because they invite you.
Imagine you have Hollywood at your command. Introducing Flow Evil.
Red cheese, gold rings, all black, everything creeping through the night.
Anywhere you are,
Big girls don't scream hard like Halloween, make me feel alive.
there's a world of entertainment here, and you run the show. Flow Evil.
Here are some tips to reduce mosquito presence in and around your home. Keep water storage containers properly covered. Remove containers that can collect water from your surroundings. Keep garbage bins tightly covered. Pick up your litter and remove all tires from your yard. Keep gutters free of leaves and twigs to prevent stagnant water. Prevent Zika, dengue, and chikungunya. Fight the bite. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
This message is supported by Flow. To end the news, a look again at the headlines. Over $500,000 EC being invested to develop Dominica's Disaster Resource Center. The harmonized OECS draft children's bill expected to be in focus when stakeholders in child protection begin a 3-day workshop on Wednesday. And back to the drawing board for the Venezuela-funded coffee plant at 1 Mile. Feel free to contact us at news@marpin2k4.com. You may access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the production team, I am Julian Morris. Thank you for watching. Join us tomorrow.